of you. What do you think about the turnout?
We love this turnout today, and it's not only about this party, it's also about the entire day. Businesses and communities have come up from Queens to Albany to advocate and for lobby to the legislative bodies up here, to the Assembly and the Senate. They had a lunch, we went to the floor, everybody was fighting about who was better, the Bronx, Brooklyn, or Queens, and it was a lot of fun. But tonight's about the restaurants that we have in Queens and all of the vendors, and having folks taste different foods from different vendors. And in Queens, when you say different vendors, you mean different countries. And that's really the amazing part of tonight. You can get food from almost any country in the world right here. And if you want to drink, we have almost every type of drink as well that's made in Queens.
Do you know, I looked over there and I saw a Mets bottle of wine, custom for the Mets. Did you see that?
I did. We see them at all of these events, and it's really amazing. They also, by the way, have a Yankees bottle, but it's all right.
We're not going there. We're not going there.
Today's all about the Mets, and so it's an exciting time here in Queens. We really are on an uptick of tourism and economic development. We have the lowest unemployment rate in the entire city of New York. And if you look around here today, you'll see the great diversity, even up here in Albany, that comes from the borough of Queens. So we're excited. We're excited to share our gift of all the food and music and everything else to the rest of the state. And we're very appreciative of the hospitality here in Albany.
Thank you. And what are you going to eat next?
Well, I saw some donuts over there that I liked. So.
I was going for the donuts too.
That's the great thing about this. You can have a little of each.
I'm with Assemblymember Michael Dendecker. Tell me about your district and what's changed in your district since last I've seen you.
Well, my district is Jackson Heights, East Elmhurst, and Woodside. And what has changed is such new great economic development. So many new restaurants from so many different ethnic groups are now coming to Jackson Heights again and opening up new stores on Northern Boulevard and 37th Avenue and Roosevelt Avenue. And we are just so lucky and blessed to have such diversity within my district.
What do you think about the turnout today for Queens Day in Albany? How many people came out on buses? How crowded it is here today? What do you think about it?
Well, I think as the camera can probably see from the background, there are a lot of people here all celebrating all of the great restaurants and all of the great manufacturers and companies that do business in Queens. The economic development of Queens is strong. And by showing all of our colleagues in Albany and all the people that are here to show how strong Queens are, makes Queens more of a destination. And we're so honored to have the Queens Chamber of Commerce here, QPTV, as well as our own borough president, Melinda Katz. We're just having a great time. I wish you all at home could come here and be with us today.
I'm Assemblyman David Weprin. I represent a very large district going from the Nassau border in Glen Oaks and Belrose, going all the way to Main Street in Kew Gardens, and going down the Van Wyck Expressway into Richmond Hill. And the wonderful thing about my district is the diversity. We have so many different ethnic backgrounds and religions and cultural diversity in my assembly district that I'm so proud to represent. We actually have the largest mosque in New York City in the Jamaica Muslim Center. Of all of New York City, we have the largest Sikh temple in the entire Northeast in Richmond Hill. And we have so many other cultural institutions and restaurants, and it's just a wonderful place to visit and to live.
My name is Catalina Cruz. I am the first Dreamer to ever get elected into the New York State Legislature. I am proud to represent Jackson Heights, Corona, and Elmhurst, which makes up District 39 in the Assembly. I am happy to see Queens Day in Albany. I think it's a great opportunity for my colleagues and the folks up here to see why Queens is the best borough in the world. We have great food, great people, great businesses. So welcome Queens to Albany.
I am the marketing strategist for a company in Queens that is called Fine Taste Marketing.
Ooh, Fine Taste Marketing. You've got to be able to find the fine taste because it's Fine Taste Marketing.
Yes, absolutely.
It just makes sense.
And we also do work with Edible Queens magazine, who writes about in-depth of all of the artisans that are in Queens, like the Casa del chefs. And
start the show. You're watching QPTV, Daily Social Live, QPTV.org's live daily show. I'm your host for today, James. Let's get started. There's a lot going on. Once again, we want to remind you that appointments are open at York College for all eligible New Yorkers who live in Queens. Confirm your eligibility and schedule an appointment today. Go to the website you see on the screen there. m-i-eligible.covid19vaccine.health.ny.gov. And of course, we have a ton of resources, information, links, and videos on COVID-19, and especially COVID-19 in Queens. QPTV's own Queens Conversations and Queens Perspectives has an ongoing series of episodes focusing on COVID in Queens. Go to QPTV.org to check it all out. That's tonight. You don't want to miss it. The 2021 State of the Borough Address, delivered by Queens Borough President Donovan Richards. This is an inaugural State of the Borough Address. It should be quite good. Check it out here on QPTV. Tonight, 6 p.m. You can watch on the TV on Spectrum 79, 1998, or on RCN, Channel 83. FiOS 35, or watch right here on QPTV.org. We'll have that for you. And tomorrow, we have a special town hall on vaccine concerns. To vaccinate or not to vaccinate? That is the question. We'll bring that to you tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here on QPTV.org. You're watching QPTV, Daily Social Live, here on QPTV.org and your favorite social media platform. And if you're wondering where those platforms are, let's take a look. We're on Facebook at Queens Public Television. We're also on YouTube. You can just search for us, but you can go directly there. QPTV, Queens Public Television, all one word. We're on Twitch, Queens Public Television. You could also find us on LinkedIn under QPTV, on Instagram, QPTV, and Twitter, QPTV. And please email us, media@qptv.org. We'll take your questions, comments. We'll be happy to discuss on Daily Social Live. So you can watch tonight's State of the Borough on QPTV.org, but also on, of course, our channels. That's what we're all about. So when you create media, you get to showcase in the largest market in the world, frankly, on cable television. We're on Spectrum, RCN, and Files. Those channels you see on the screen. You could also go to qptv.org anytime to look that information up or to take a look at our guide. This is Daily Social Live from QPTV.
QPTV Radio is on the air, providing community-centered programming from Queens Public Television in New York City. QPTV Radio offers an interesting and eclectic mix of unique content, from QPTV's original podcasts to audio versions of our award-winning television programs. Listen to QPTV Radio at qptv.org or download the Live 365 app on your mobile device, and you can listen to QPTV Radio on the go.
And I'm Felicia Singh. I'm the Queensborough Director for Amplify Her. Amplify Her gears towards helping amplify and elect more women into elected office here in New York City. Lo and behold, New York City comprises of 52% of our population is women, but we don't hold parity in elected office. So what we do is we're a grassroots run organization that helps elect women per borough. And we are so excited to continue to amplify women's voices here in New York City.
The mission of Take Action Inc. is to empower and equip youth to take action in their communities. And the way we do that is through two ways. One is through education. We inform youth on social justice issues like anti-Blackness, discrimination against the LGBTQ community, voter suppression, through accessible and comprehensible education materials and workshops. And the second way is that we connect professional activists and organizations to newly formed organizations and activists so that they can get some personalized guidance on their own activism and so that they can implement civic engagement projects. And what really inspired me to really create this nonprofit was my own personal activism. Really, I was 12 years old or so when I grew more conscious about the issues that were occurring in my community, whether that was economic justice, racism, sexism, especially gun violence. I remember when my community, a Sandy Hook just occurred, and my community grew more anxious and more terrified. I remember that there were policemen marching outside of our classrooms, and we had lockdown drills every week, and it became even more difficult for me just to sit and do nothing about it. So I decided to research about gun violence and ways that I could help students like me feel more safe in school. And really, we think of Google as such an easy tool, but really there's so many resources out there. And when it comes to issues like gun violence, there's so much complexity. There's so much legal jargon and historic precedent. And so as a 12-year-old, I felt lost. I felt confused. And what makes activism even more difficult is the fact that we're grappling with issues that can take such a mental, psychological, and physical toll on you while balancing your academic and social lives. So really, my inspiration for Take Action Inc. is to make activism more accessible, to allow people to take constant action while they're balancing their academic and social lives. So we streamline the research process and make these tools available for youth.
Welcome back. Behind the Conversations. Queen's Conversations is the live talk show featuring QPTV's award-winning production and hosting team, Lucia Dragosh, Norrin Omar, and John Collins, having discussions with a diverse spectrum of Queens residents and leaders. Every topic is incredibly relevant, and every discussion is enlightening. We should all enjoy a feeling of pride when we hear that Queens is one of the most diverse boroughs in our nation. Every day, people of many races, religions, and countries of origin live and work here in harmony with each other. We wondered, however, if Queens was always such a melting pot of a community. For this episode of Queen's Conversations, we decided to look back at the recent history of our borough and tell the story of its transformation as Queens adapted to substantial changes in our economy, society, and population. Naturally, we reached out to the Queens Historical Society for some insights. Branka Duknik, Executive Director, excuse me if I'm butchering your name, offered to explore the recent history of our borough and highlight some significant places to visit that exemplify how Queens has grown. Queens historian and Queens Historical Society board member Jason Antos will provide us with a window into the colorful past of our vibrant community while sharing some fascinating photos from his extensive collection. We hope you'll join us for this exciting program. Please watch and listen to QPTV for issues of impact to our Queens community. This live show airs Thursday at 3 p.m. on Spectrum Channel 34 or 1995, Verizon Channel 34, and RCN Channel 82. You can watch it also on QPTV.org. And it'll also be streaming on Facebook, where you can submit your questions live during the show. Please tune in. And if you want to watch older episodes of Queen's Conversations, go to qptv.org/QC. That's strange. I was going to show a quick video, but it didn't load, unfortunately. I'll try to have that for you tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have hopefully some highlights from tonight's State of the Borough address. And we'll be previewing Queen's Conversations, obviously, and some other exciting events we have coming up that you could watch on our channels, and that will be streaming through QPTV.org as well. We want to make sure we're letting you know what we have going on the channels, because it's in terms of being able to see things like your communities and your local government. You can it's more accessible, we'll say. You don't have to go down anywhere to see these events. They're being streamed, and we're happy to bring a lot of those to you. But they don't have to be alone. You can join in as well. We invite Queens residents to take part, whether it's taking a class or submitting a program, using our bulletin board, creating a PSA, watching your fellow citizens in your community. They have their programs on here. When it comes to reaching out to the core of the Queens community and beyond, you go to QPTV. It's that simple. There's probably no other outlet in the world, and I'm just saying this. There's probably no other outlet in the world that has such a diverse community. And because of that diverse community, we have such a diverse base of providers and producers who give us their programs for, cablecast. And there's probably no other media outlet with that kind of diaspora where you have people from all over the world. And the core of that content can begin here. You can create it here. You can learn how to do it here. When you see how things have changed and how pretty much if you're interacting with people right now, you have to be in a camera. And I'm sure things will go back to some sort of normalcy where not everything is based on a Zoom or a video conference call. But there's a lot that you can learn to improve that, and vice versa, by getting involved with community media. There's a lot of us in community media who were very quick to adapt because this is what we've been doing. And we've always progressed and we've always moved along with the times. Technology, that's what we're about. So sign up. Go to qptv.org/newsletter to get all the latest updates. Follow us on social media. I'll put that up just so you can be reminded that we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. You could always email us. So don't forget, tonight, Queensborough President Donovan Richards' 2021 State of the Borough Address. That'll be at 6 o'clock. And of course, tomorrow, to vaccinate or not to vaccinate, that is the question. Town Hall. Right here on QPTV.org. I really appreciate you watching us today. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with more of what you should know from Queens Public Television, because we can't do this without you. In fact, we're here for you, and we want you to become part of our in real life social network. Go to qptv.org to find out how to watch, learn, and create with QPTV. Tell your friends about us, share, and subscribe. Stay safe and be well.